The world is changing, and it's debatable whether for better or worse. Purported artificial intelligence, or AI, tools are altering the way that we as humans create things. There are programs that can write scripts for videos, manufacture audio, or even generate images. However, there are a lot of ethical questions involving these tools, such as if they are actually generating anything new or merely plagiarizing previous works. I do use some of these tools personally to create content for this channel, and I want to make it clear the ways that I use them, the limits that I place on that usage, and how I will be making the involvement of these tools clear going forward. Before we get to the main tool that I know you're already thinking of, I want to cover two of the ones that I use in every single video that you've probably never noticed. The first of these is actually a collection of tools being image upscalers. These basically take small images and make them much bigger, which is super important for me as a Forge of Empires creator. Much of the game art is really small and pixelated, making it look really bad to use in one of my videos. For example, the art on the left is the original artwork scaled up, while the one on the right is one that has been scaled using an AI tool. As you can see, it's a lot clearer and cleaner. I will not be noting specific uses of these tools in videos, as it can be assumed to be used for nearly everyone, and I have not identified any concerns of dubious ethics. The other main tool that I use is one that you should be very glad that I do, and that is Adobe Podcast's voice enhancement. It removes all the excess noise from the room I record in and makes the audio more uniform across all my videos. If I switch it off, you can immediately see that you probably want it turned back on. Once again, this can be assumed to be used for nearly every video and will not be disclaimed. What will receive disclaimers are tools that do the creative work for me. That's right, it's time to talk about OpenAI's ChatGPT. If you don't know what it is, it can basically write passages of text on any topic from any point of view nearly instantly. I have used this tool to brainstorm ideas for titles, and now that I see it here, Forge of Empires, a journey through time and space, would make a killer video. I've also used ChatGPT to do research for upcoming videos, mainly to try and give me new perspectives or key points that could be useful to discuss in those. However, I want to make it clear that unless otherwise stated, what I say in my videos and my guides is exclusively my own work. I use ChatGPT as inspiration and as a research tool, not as a co-author. Think of it more as a friend that you use to bounce ideas off of. With that said though, for the purposes of being transparent, I will denote parts of this video were influenced by ChatGPT when necessary at the start of videos. I take a vast amount of pride in my work, and I want to make it clear that I am actually creating what I publish, but I feel like it would be wrong to not admit the contributions of ChatGPT or potentially Google's new competitor Bard that will be released soon to the public as announced on February 6th on Sundar Pichai's, the CEO of Google's Twitter account. For the time being, those are all the tools that I use. However, it may not always stay that way. As more tools are developed, I will keep you updated on the ones that I currently use. I will and have also followed the same guidelines for the tools that I use. First, I only use tools if I can be reasonably sure that they do not steal content from other original creators, such as image generation software. Second, in the case of tools that generate content, I only use them as inspiration, not actually publishing the content that they create. Third, in the case of tools that modify existing work, I will only use them to make my own content more clear and understandable to the viewer, such as the image upscaler or voice enhancement. Fourth and lastly, I will always make it clear when a tool has generated content that is inspired, influenced, or contributed to my work. We are entering a period of time where it can be hard to distinguish between human-generated content and that of a computer program, and I thought it best that I establish my personal guidelines rather than have anyone assume otherwise, in order to be as transparent as possible. I'd like to hear your thoughts though. Do you agree with my use of these tools, or should I change my policies? I'd really appreciate your feedback on this. And if you made it this far into the video, thank you for sticking around. And you might also enjoy my deep dive into the Secret Progressive Era bonus quest line. I'll see you next time.